Now, I should have introduced Rena before. The question keeps coming up about children and what they go through and how they're led to do these things. And so Rena is going to share with you her experience as a child and dealing with this issue. Rena is our secretary for Eagle Farm, and we're grateful that she's willing to share this very painful experience in her life. And when this bill comes before committee, we plan to bring in some of these young people who've gone through these procedures and then changed their mind. We've already got commitments from one of them. We'll get some more. We'll bring in doctors and psychiatrists and psychologists. And we're going to have to spend a lot of money to do that, but we're going to do that. We're going to bring in the experts that will answer a lot of the questions you were asking about today and let the legislators know that this procedure has to stop. So, Rena, this is Rena Williams.
And hopefully those people won't cry when they're testifying, because I will probably cry today, and I apologize. I was talking to David yesterday, and when he found out my subject, he said, "Wow, you're brave." I said, "No, I'm scared spitless." Unfortunately, it doesn't work for the eyes. I still have plenty of fluid coming out of the eyes. So, oh, my computer doesn't like whatever I did. Okay. One of the things that we hear as conservatives is that we don't tell enough stories. We like facts, we like figures, but we're missing the human element. So I'm here to tell you guys a story. And it's not fictional, it's very real. So once upon a time, a long, long time ago, in the early 1970s, okay? One day in March, there was a young couple in the LDS hospital. They were there having their first baby. The couple were my parents, and after I was born, see, I know just enough about technology to make messes. No, it's supposed to be black. Yeah, we're good. So after I was born, the doctor looked up, he smiled, and he said, "Congratulations, it's a girl." I am so thankful that I was born then and not 30 years later. If I'd been born later, my story would be very, very different. So if you were to plot my life right now, those of you who do family history, you know all about timelines and stuff, right? This is what my life, my timeline would kind of look like. I was born at LDS Hospital. I lived across from Sugar House Park for the first few years of my life. I had a brother born and a sister born and another brother born, and my parents moved us all to West Jordan. So I grew up right around this area. This is kind of my hometown, right? I went to elementary school, I went to middle school, went to high school. During that time, my parents kept having kids, like a lot of us do, right? More siblings would join the family. I graduated. I went to college in Grand Junction, Colorado. I majored in music because music was everything to me at that point. I got married. I had a baby. I moved back to Utah, had more babies, got divorced, married Mr. Right, had even more babies, and here we are today. But that doesn't tell you the whole story. So what didn't make the highlight reel of the timeline? Well, I was the general manager of 2 fabric stores that are no longer here. I worked at the airport as a cargo ramp agent because I was buff and tough and I can do this. I have an incredible love story with my sweet husband. I homeschooled all the kids. And I struggled with severe gender dysphoria. When I was 6 and 7 years old, I was hurt very badly by an older teenager in the neighborhood. It was not a one-time occurrence, and though I didn't talk about it at the time, it would end up affecting my life in very adverse ways. until I did talk about it and learn how to come to terms with what had happened. Fast forward to my difficult preteen and teenage years. I was a pretty typical teen. I was ornery. I was obstinate. I wanted to get away with as much as I possibly could, my poor parents. But I also hated being a girl. I would cry myself to sleep at night, many, many nights, because I hated my body. I would pray that something would happen and somehow I would wake up to be a boy. I did not want to be a boy. And that never happened. I wondered why God was punishing me. Why did he make me a girl? So, eventually I developed some pretty severe eating disorders and ended up in the hospital for anorexia and bulimia. One of the things I had to do was meet with a counselor, and thank goodness. I remember one session very, very clearly because I went on, crying and lamenting the fact that I was a girl. I did not want to be a girl. Why did I have to be a girl? Why wasn't there something, anything that could be done to make me into a boy? It just wasn't fair. I did not want to be a girl. My dear counselor let me carry on, and then said something that helped me change my life. She looked at me and she said, "Yes, dear, but you are one. So let's come up with ways that you can learn to accept that." Yes, I was a girl then, I'm a girl now, but if it had been 30 years earlier, would I be now? I mean, I would have medically transitioned. There's a difference. So I learned, girls do not have to like pink. I still do not like pink. Girls do not have to wear lace. They don't have to wear ruffles. I still do not wear ruffles. Girls don't have to enjoy reading, but I do enjoy reading. Girls can be good at math, and I helped start a math club in my high school. Girls can be in jazz band, and I was. Girls can be fast in track, and I was. Girls can be good at basketball, even at 5'3". She helped me learn little by little how to like who I was. She told me I didn't have to wear high heels if I didn't want to. I'm in flats. She helped me set goals to become better and better. As I began to heal, I learned that the trauma I faced as a young child had damaged me. Not physically anymore, that had healed, but emotionally. I was lashing out at what I thought was the root of the problem. If I was a girl, I would not be able to protect myself from harm. One of the hardest lessons I had to learn was that I could trust in others if the danger was too great for me to handle on my own. But I could be strong and fight hard too, hence the reason I was a cargo ramp agent. It was a long time before I learned that being a girl is really pretty great. It was many, many small incremental steps, most of them forward, some of them backwards, and then forward again. However, what would have happened if I had been born 30 years later? Would my counselor have been able to say, "Yes, dear, but you are one"? Or would she have said, "Oh, you're right. You must have been assigned the wrong sex at birth. Obviously, you're a boy in the wrong body. Let's put a pause on this puberty problem and give you puberty blockers. And then let's give you testosterone. And then in a little bit, we can help you medically transition." Would that have given me a happily ever after? I can tell you no, it would not have. Representative Shipp is my hero. He's willing to take a hard stance. He needs our help. He wants to protect children who are vulnerable, like I was. Believe me, if there was a different way back then, I would have jumped at it. And I would have regretted it. Please contact your legislators and help him pass this bill. Thankfully, I was born when I was. I had a counselor who listened to my frustrations and then had the freedom to give me the tools I needed, who could affirm with true gender-affirming care, yes, dear, but you are one. She helped teach me how to come to terms with who I was and the woman I would become. I did not become a medical experiment by being prescribed body-altering drugs that would have made me sterile. Instead, I was able to come to terms with God. And I learned that being a woman is actually pretty great because I did not do irreversible damage to my body. I get to enjoy life with an amazing husband. We have 12 incredible children, 19 fun, energetic, very energetic grandchildren. And after all of that, I learned that being a wife, having a family, being a woman is pretty awesome, and this is my happily ever after. Thank you.